everybody!
Hey guys,
Kayla here.
Cody.
We just wanted to talk to you a little bit about episode 2.
Yeah, it's episode 2.
Okay, so we decided we wanted to talk a little bit about balance and how we work opposite schedules most of the time, and we probably have some days 10 minutes, like today, in between home shifts.
What she's trying to say is that, in her cute Kayla way, is that we have opposite schedules. I worked in the day, and she typically works at night. So I get home at a certain. Some days are better than others.
Right.
Some days we may have like an hour or two, which is nice. But some days, like today, we have 10 minutes. So we're filming a 10-minute podcast for you because this is relevant to the lifestyle that's required to keep that balance in our lives. And we have, if you're in a profession where you have a demanding job and maybe your spouse isn't on the same schedule, and maintain that work-life balance. So what Kayla was talking about earlier today was that how it's important to set each other up for success.
Right. So during the day, I have the kids, I'm paying bills, and most importantly, I try to set Cody up for success because he only has a certain amount of hours once he gets home to play with the kids, get any of our business stuff done.
Chores, house projects, whatever it may be.
Right. So during the day, I do my best to make sure that when he gets home, the house is picked up. Maybe there's dishes in the sink, maybe there's some laundry to be done, but overall, the majority of the work is done. And so that once he gets home, he can take a minute to relax. He's not stressed out by a dirty house.
Yeah, but that doesn't always happen though, and that's so
true.
So that requires understanding from both people. Like, we all go through this. You come home, the house is filthy, and the last thing you want to do after a long day is clean the house. You have other things to do, but we have to think about what the other person's been through that day.
Right.
So I know Kayla's not sitting around eating bonbons, watching Oprah. There's things she's doing. She gets busy with things with the kids and other errands and stuff, things that need to be done. So what I've learned to do is to lovingly understand and pick up the house and do it with love and compassion, because, and we were talking about this too, a lot of men struggle with, not just men, but couples struggle with keeping the fire burning in the bedroom. And I'll tell you what, guys, here's the secret. Stay fit. At the very least, just take care of yourself. Like, even if you're maybe have like a dad bod or whatever, if you're going to the gym and your wife sees you trying, plus you're doing laundry and you clean up the house when she needs the help, because they're taking care of the kids. If that's your situation. But if you're doing the chores and you're helping pick up and you don't do it and drag them across the coals for it, I promise you, the bedroom stays interesting. And that's a male perspective, so Kayla, why don't you give them the female perspective?
It creates this trust, like you're a team and you're working together. It's not just one-sided. I know there's been times that, like, I will feel like I'm doing everything, and I'm sure Cody has felt that way too. But for the most part, we keep it really balanced and help each other out. And when we do that, it creates more love and compassion.
And we feel like it makes each person feel like they're a member of a team and not against somebody. Because like if you're always picking up and the other person's like coming home from work and sitting down and watching video games or sports or whatever, that's a guy thing. But women, it could be a woman thing too. Maybe a woman is the bread earner. She comes home and she's not helping out, and the guy's expected to do everything. That can create resentment over time, guys.
Right.
So we have to drop some of the silly little things that we want to. We got to forget how we think things ought to be sometimes. For example, you think you ought to come home and be able to kick your feet up and just do nothing.
Have dinner made for you.
That can happen some nights,
yeah.
Right? And just appreciate the nights that it happens, but it doesn't happen every night. And those are the nights where the work is getting done in terms of building that trust, propping that person up. And like I said, I promise, if you're trying to take care of yourself physically, you don't have to look like Zac Efron, but as long as your wife or husband sees you taking care of yourself, you're going to motivate each other to continue to.
Right, absolutely.
Well, she went for a 5-mile run last night. She was tired.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to. That motivates me. I was tired today after work. I didn't necessarily, there was a moment where I was trying to talk myself out of it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, that's silly. You're going to the gym. But you start motivating each other.
Right.
And that keeps the fire burning.
Right.
Like when you can look at somebody and be motivated by them, that's a big deal for keeping the fire burning. Plus, like we said, doing the chores, taking care of the kids, like
setting each other up. Yeah. Being understanding and trying to set up your partner for success.
Right. So when it comes to people in certain professions who may have really demanding hours, and and maybe you have a situation like ours where you have opposite schedules, you have to set each other up for success. That's a big one. And so you decide as a team how to do that and be understanding when that falls out of balance.
Right.
And pick up the pieces, and like I said,
move.
It keeps the bedroom good. You wanna agree with that, Kayla, or disagree with that?
Oh, I agree.
So, but what about people who maybe both have demanding jobs? Like, we don't know what that's like, but I would imagine it's still very similar. You almost would have to, like, if you have the same schedule and you have demanding hours, I'm just speculating here, so those of you who have the situation, you can comment in the comment section and correct me or agree, but you would have to work as a team on your downtime.
Right.
So to set each other up for success, when you do get home from your long day, there's not a bunch of crap to do.
Right.
So that can be a good thing because you're doing everything together.
Or if you have kids, you can make them do it.
Ooh, yeah, Tegan. Yeah, I came home today and Tegan went crazy cleaning the house.
She cleaned the whole. I don't know. She just.
I remember being a kid telling my parents that they just my parents collectively had 8 kids from previous marriages and a half sibling. And I always said, you guys just had all these kids so you can have slaves to clean your house.
Hey, if you got them, use them.
but she did it on her own today.
Yeah, she did.
So, I guess
set a good example, and they'll follow.
Yeah. So why do you think it is she went crazy cleaning the house today?
I mean, I just asked her to do a quick pickup, but she
just got into it, huh? She
got into it. She turned up the music, was sweeping and dusting and.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe it is because we do like to talk about keeping that, having an organized, clean house as reflective of an organized, clean mind, right? So that stuff is probably starting to get through in terms of
right.
we try to keep things picked up and not live like pigs, like my late step grandfather used to say. But that's setting an example is a big deal. Setting an example for each other,
right?
So it gets back to the setting each other up for success.
Right. If I just leave the house a mess and you come home,
if that happens over time too much, it's like
you're not going to want it.
It creates resentment.
Right.
But when I see her working hard, like when she's been running around all day long doing chores or errands or whatever that have to be done, that motivates me to chip in when I get home. Because just because she doesn't work all day doesn't mean she's not going to work at night.
Yeah.
So it's just flipped. She has to go to work at night. So even though I'm working in the day, I have to come home and I have to help out too because I see her working her butt off sometimes during the day and then going to work right after. So we set an example for each other in terms of motivation and getting things done.
But also finding balance within those times to fit in your workouts and things that help you reduce.
Your yoga, your meditation.
Yeah. Journaling.
Yep.
Making sure that you make time for yourself.
There's always time. You can always find time, like maybe get up a little bit earlier or,
go to bed earlier so that you can wake up earlier.
Yeah, like going out and socializing with friends. I mean, how many of you are probably spending way more time goofing around with friends when you got family at home? I mean, I know some people are doing it, but we have to get to a point where we have to say no to socialization because it's just we love our friends. We love the idea of being social, but it has to be a treat. So
take care of yourself so that you can take care of each other.
So the moral of the story is get that balance when you have opposite schedules or similar schedules, and if you're both hard workers, and be a team, set each other up for success, and inspire each other to keep driving forward, and to keep things good in the bedroom.
Okay, be bloomed.
Bye.